Now to have a discussion with Maven Blackbriar about, well, whatever else you want to see Quentyl about.
Talon, another round.
I think you've had plenty, Volwolf. Maybe you should head on home.
You stupid lizard. I said give me some more drink, or I'll have your head on a pike.
Suit yourself.
If your allegiance lies with the Empire, we haven't much to discuss.
Well, the hatred for the Empire.
They mean to take our history and crush it all in the name of some damn treaty. The soil beneath our feet is steeped in the blood of our ancestors. We've fought for this land, and died for it. I lost my own daughter to the Imperial dogs, and by Talos I'll not lose anyone else.
What happened to your daughter?
Lilia joined the Stormcloaks many years ago.
Oh, right.
When the first of the skirmishes broke out across Skyrim, I was so proud of her. She served as a battle maiden, using her healing arts to help those that fell on the battlefield. Never even lifted a blade in her life. It didn't matter. The Imperial soldiers cut her down, killed her like a dog, and left her body to rot in the mud. And that's why I won't rest easy until every single Imperial soldier joins her, and Ulfric sits upon the throne of Skyrim. Support Ulfric or die trying. There's nothing in between.
Hello. Oh, hi. I'm glad I ran into you. I was wondering if...
Hello, ladies. Is there anything a big, strong man can do for you this fine day?
I don't know. If you see any big, strong men around, let us know, will you?
You need to see me, Maven.
So you're the one. You don't look so impressive.
Every one of them.
Oh, come now. Don't go away
Why
now.
would we skip the conversation?
You're a firebrand, aren't you? It's about time Brynjolf sent me someone with business sense. I was beginning to think he was running some sort of beggars guild over there.
You have no faith in the guild, then?
Faith? I don't have faith in anyone. All I care about is cause and effect. Did the job get done, and was it done correctly? There's no gray area.
So, you won't have that problem with me.
I hope not. This is an important job. I have a competitor called Hunningbrew Meadery that I want to put out of business. I also want to know how they managed to get the place up and running so quickly.
So, where did I start?
Head to the Bannered Mare in Whiterun and look for Malus Macius. He'll fill you in on all the details.
Right. So who runs your show at Huntingwood Beery?
Some layabout named Sabjorn. Been a thorn in my side for the last few years now.
Well, this Sabion seems more like friendly competition.
Not a day goes by that I don't regret letting Sabjorn get as far as he did. In only a few short years, he's taken that bile he calls mead to market, and a chunk of my profits with it. I can't imagine where he found the gold to take it to market so quickly.
So get rid of him, and he's no longer a threat.
Exactly. With Sabjorn in prison, his meadery will be forced to close. Then I swoop in and take over the place. No more competition.
So why strike now?
The Golden Glow estate job has undoubtedly interrupted the supply of honey I need to make my mead. Sabjorn could use this interruption to his advantage and collect a larger share of the market. I can't have that.
Yeah, I can see that. So how did you come along with the Thieves Guild anyway?
The Blackbriar family has always been allied with the Guild. Our connections with the Empire and within Skyrim make for a perfect fit. I dare say the Guild owes its survival as much to my family as it does to its own people.
Right, okay.
One more time, in case I wasn't clear. You butcher this job, and you will be sorry.
Unless you're having a discussion with the noble there too. Fingers and plenty of pies does Maven have. Alright. So I think it's time to leave this town for the moment. Go and get some sleep. We'll hide away and come back and go elsewhere for a little time. So. Quite a lot of rumours of this place. There's some sort of ghost haunting it. Or the ghosts. The water skims up when I'm here.
Life and death, delivered by my blades, and not once has the stance of Arcane shown itself. You hear me? You cannot hide from me forever, my mentor.
That's a gadget that we made doing your focus.
So the fool comes to dance once more. But it seems I've slain all your partners.
Not all of them, there's one right in front of me.
Your claws are long and sharp, but our time will have to wait. All the better to savor it before it comes. First, I must take down my old mentor, and to do that, I need to sharpen my own claws.
What is this place?
A sanctuary for the ghosts of the Akavir. My mentor once spoke of it in passing. Now all those ghosts have passed. It seems one of these ghosts was a greedy one. He had 2 legendary blades, away where the others would be blind to his duplicity.
So tell me about these swords you seek.
One is as light as a feather, and as fast as the arrow it fletches. Its edge doesn't appear to be as fine, but that's deliberate. A light blade with an edge is brittle, and this sword is as sturdy as it is swift. The other is as sharp and as piercing as a confession. Heavy for an Akaviri sword, blade meant to ward off blows, and struck with force. Both are life and death incarnate. One knows not which role they play. These are the perfect weapons to slay my mentor once more.
Why are you here?
Why else, imbecile? To hunt my old mentor. Yet he continues to elude me, as does his stance.
Only the weak rely on others. Forge your own legacy.
And only a devout simpleton tries to reassemble the wheel. I will build my own legacy, but only after I have absorbed all that is beneath me.
Do you mind if I speak to the priest?
Not at all. Speak with your equal. Pat around balls of yarn. I have 2 swords to fetch.
Well, good luck with that then. Yeah, I know, I've got some weird issue with her armour, so. With some sort of camouflage armour she's wearing.
stay quiet and follow me.
Right, okay. Oh yes, nice. Okay, dead. It's interesting, right. That's going to be excellent.
You have arrived at last. Do not be alarmed. This pilgrim gave his body in service to the gods, as was his desire.
Really? Seems to me the gods didn't care much for his service.
Perhaps, yet while it is convenient for those on their deathbed to renew their faith, do not confuse his death with divine judgment. That was predetermined. What happens when his soul reaches Aetherius? That is beyond our fragile wisdom.
You see that I arrived at last. Were you expecting me?
I have. Ever since my death, I have been waiting for you to come. Waiting for a sign. Then today you enter on the heels of my pupil. This is no coincidence. Truly the gods are great.
The gods have nothing to do with it, Ghost. I came here on my own.
That is where you are mistaken, young disciple. The gods have a hand in all things, for all things were made by the hands of the gods. You remind me of her. She did not heed the teachings of the divines, and now she pays the price. Forgive me, where are my manners? My name is Garrett. I am Savashni's former master, and steward of the Way of the Nine.
How does a ghost possess a living?
It may sound impossible, and to my pupil, that made it so. Still, one who understands how archaic a man's life and death knows the two states are nearly identical. However, the gap between us cannot be crossed by one side alone. It requires two willing partners to bridge.
So what exactly is this place?
Who can say? It belonged to the Needs at one point, and the Akavir at another. As such, the ghosts of Akmora and Akavir roam these halls. It is the latter with which my pupil has quarrel. She thinks that facing me once more will afford her a second opportunity to learn the stance of RK.
You're dead anyway, just show her the bloody stance.
The stance of RK is based on instinct and flow. It is not something that can be taught by mimicry and instruction. That flow requires a deep, meditative understanding of how RK governs life and death, for that is the current upon which it is derived. Then, and only then, is the mind able to see. I can show you the principles of its movement, but without faith, your eyes will be closed.
So why did Zavashni feel to inherit the Way of the Nine?
The 8 came easily enough. It is the 9th that eludes her, and it is little mystery why. Contrary to her belief, it is not about whether one can overcome their fear of death, nor is it about embracing fear in order to value one's life. If it were derived from such platitudes, no doubt she would have long since mastered it already. No, the stance of RK is a technique that requires an understanding of the divines. You see, everything from the air we breathe to the ground under our feet is governed by RK's influence. In combat, the rivers of life and death flow into a single current, and only one who yields to RK's will can know where they part. Savashni thinks of the religious and the practical as two separate planes. At no point did she consider they can be wielded as one.
Well, name your question, so what did you ask of me?
To end the life of my disciple, and to demonstrate to her the power of the divines. To accomplish that, you must endure what she would not. Only through the pilgrimage of the divines can you prove your worth. When you have walked the supplicant's road, then you will be ready to inherit the stance of RK.
I can defeat her without performing a pilgrimage.
I do not doubt the veracity of your strength. However, you would do well to recognize hers. You will also be doing me a favor, as I would like to see the stance of RK once more, in the hands of a true heir.
But when I spoke to her, I personally thought she'd taken a Kapaton in the stance.
That is wishful thinking on behalf of my pupil. She wishes to believe she is close, when she couldn't be more far. My hope was that in our fateful battle, she would experience a divine intervention, as these pilgrims do when the end draws near. If she failed to embrace the divine's teachings, she would die by my hand. Such is her skill, that this is the outcome we endure. You too will face a similar test, but you do not have to do it alone. I need you to receive the blessing of 8 warriors of the divines. Together you will be able to see the rivers of life and death flow through your stars, but only as long as the 9 of us are bound to your will. Such is the consequence of shortcuts, but we do not have the time for the long road.
How do I walk the supplicant road?
First, you must find a brute of Talos, a warrior whose very breath is a declaration of war. Second, the embrace of Mara. Only one who fights for love will burn the embers. Third, the mercy of Stendar. Claim the warrior whose very weapon is forbearance. Fourth, the tear of Kinnereth seeks the one who walks amongst the beasts and gives life to the soil. Fifth, a mind of Julianos. Only one whose intellect is sharp as my blade will pass this test. 6. A mark of Dibella. Find one whose beauty is profound enough to melt a heart of steel. 7. The scale of Zenithar. Seek the aid of one who fights for coin, and tip the scales toward your victory. Lastly, the Judge of Akatosh. Only a warrior who claims lordship over the realm of time will light the path. When you have been blessed by 8 who are worthy, and the 8 flames are lit, then I will stand as the 9th. Now go, my young disciple, and keep the gods in your heart.
Well, the gods haven't had much to do with Quentyl's life, but in a fighting stance, she can willing to do that. I have no idea what's happening with these statues, but some weird graphical issues from time to time. Let's get out of here. Yeah, skill armor. I should put Stalin armor on for now because it's a bit cold outside. And as daylight, so summer I can regenerate. Some sort of tower up here.
What a coward. Didn't even put up a proper fight.
Yeah, well. If the bear hadn't attacked us in the first place, we wouldn't have been up here. We would have found this place, so got a bit of thank for that a bit anyway. Stendarr.
I'm proud of what we've managed to accomplish.
You speak to a vigilant of Stendarr. Cavort with any Daedra, and we will hunt you down.
Daedra, do you?
And any other abominations that prey on mortals. Vampires, werewolves, witches. But the Daedra are the worst. Their callous disregard for our lives is abhorrent in the eyes of the God of Mercy.
So you're a vigilant, are you?
Yes. Our order was founded after the Oblivion Crisis. We dedicate our lives to facing the threat of Daedra wherever they appear. We're quartered in the Hall of the Vigilant. Keeper Karset heads Skyrim's branch of our order there, providing healing and justice as needed.
So what's dangerous about Daedra?
They are profane creatures with no hope of redemption. They lure innocents to their deaths and corrupt the souls of all they touch. And their heretical artifacts grant powers to mortals that wreak havoc across Tamriel. They must be destroyed or guarded to prevent temptation.
Really? It's Stendarr.
He is the God of Mercy, the patron of order and justice for all of Tamriel. We bring his compassion where none can be found, by cleansing all those who would offend his children. Stendarr be with you.
Alright. That's their belief, I suppose, eh?
Wherever the Daedra hide, the Vigil of Stendarr will cast them into the light.
Oh, very good.
None escape the Vigil. All come into the light.
Well, so you say. Right.
Halt. You approach the Vigilant of Stendar. State your business.
You did.
I apologize, but I cannot and will not abandon the Vigilance at this hour. War is upon us. I can only hope that those at the Hall have prepared themselves.
Well, I heard that the whole of Vigilance is burned asunder.
Then Stendar have mercy upon us all.
What's this worry mentioned?
We came here on rumors that a Dawn Guard was forming, and found scant evidence as to why. Keeper Carset saw no reason to pursue it further. Nevertheless, she sent a few of us to scout the rift. In the event any leads turned up, I was on my way here when I was assaulted by 4 Nightwalkers. I would not be alive if not for a chance encounter with my old Dalmar friend Julrulith. Her magic is still formidable, and her politics still reprehensible. Thankfully, on that day, I only needed one.
Well, perhaps I can lend you a hand if you agree to help me in return.
Then you must look elsewhere. I make no bargains. If you truly wish to lend a hand, then commit yourself to the Order. Only then can...
No.
Vampires. To all! It's vigilance! Rend them all to dust!
Yes, my lady?
Shoot them, Lydia, shoot them. High ground.
What's that?
Vampire!
Oh well. Must have
Someone, I'm getting
do
out
something.
Ah, right.
Somebody help!
Are you prepared to die? You won't get away.
Promise I'll kill you quickly.
You're a disgrace to your own kind. I'm going to put you with no
Right.
submit. Victory is yours. Submit.
Freeze.
I'll kill you if I have to. No. Now.
Well, that's them all.
You fought valiantly, adventurer. I am in your debt.
Yes, you are.
As you have proven yourself to walk in the light, then perhaps I was wrong to deny your request. What exactly is this task you speak of?
Right. Our man wishes to kill our troubles on people and needs Stendar's help.
Then your quest is irrelevant, and to undertake it would be an intolerable waste of time. However, Stendar demands I show mercy. The gods clearly favor you, and your actions here should not go unrewarded. Very well. What is it you would have of me?
I simply require Stendar's blessing so that I may prove my faith.
Then you will have it, pilgrim. Walk always in the light.
Right.
Go here.
Well, the vigilance didn't do very well against them, did they? That's rather nasty. Oof. Dear me. Don't really care for vigilance really, but read that before. Over here somewhere outside. Never mind, I'm going to spend time searching for her. Unless I nope, never mind. This vigilant. I think we're going to go and kill a dragon next, so we'll see you there. This is where the other thrall went, down here. Quite a position to sit in actually. Quite funny. Weird. Okay, next destination, Dragon Killer, I think. Right, I think I'll find the way up to where those dragons hiding. there we are. Looks like a frost dragon of some sort. Right. Right. Alright. Looks like it. Right, Lydia.
I'm still here.
Yes, my lady? You lead, I'll follow. What's on your mind?
Guy the boards. Let me level up my dragon skill stuff.
Very good, ma'am.
Treasure chest right around here. Should be up here. Just me. I have that, I don't know yet, we'll see. Don't. Okay, fine. Better, right. I'll head back to this and then get that bounty. Yeah, right.
We'll have to do. Besides, if it came to blows, I'm sure the snow shards would come out here and assist us.
I suppose so. I just fear they won't make it out here in time.
Just worry about keeping the fields tended, and let the Jarl worry about the war.
Oh, hello there. How are you?
Terrible. How there's urge just to punch whatever's in front of me.
Then do you mind turning around? I'd rather not take a chance. I've got enough aches already working the farm for Affield.
Why are you asking him questions?
Well, that's something that doesn't happen every day. You want to ask me questions? I'm just a farmhand. On the list of important folks in this town, I'm about as low in common as a borrowed robe. So I don't know who you think I am, stranger, but I'm not at all interesting. You, on the other hand, I bet you've gone on all sorts of adventures.
Well, I've mostly just scavenged and wandered, nothing special.
You've seen more in one day than I've seen in all my life. I don't mean that in a negative way, though. I don't really care to see it. My life is here, harvesting crops for the snowshots. It's a simple life, but I can't see what I have to offer you beyond how to pick potatoes.
If my conversation partner was limited to my peers, I'd be a mute.
True, but you could still aim a little higher than me. The Earl's Keep has plenty of interesting folks. I recommend you talk to them.
Yeah, well.
But if you're that intent on asking me questions, go ahead. But I'd much rather talk about you.
So would you also even like to be farmers?
You sound like Valander. He never stops with the Green Pact and all this other religious nonsense. So I can't pick a cabbage from the garden, but if a Nord picks that same cabbage and sells it to me to eat, it's okay. The whole concept seems a little silly to me. If you're not going to eat vegetables, that's one thing, but don't look down on me for harvesting crops when there's plenty of green on your plate.
So how's life in the farm working for you?
Good. The climate here in Riften is ideal for the crops we grow. The soil is warm, but not too warm where the tubers refer to leaves. In some places the ground is so hard you need a shovel to harvest things. Here you can pull out the leeks by the stems. The potatoes require a little bit more care, so as not to damage them. You have to sort of ease the stalk out of the ground, and then claw around the dirt. It's still pretty easy compared to the farm work up north. I've got a bad back though, and I have to spend half my earnings over at Elgrim's Elixir. And the rest I spend on food, shelter, and maybe the occasional bottle of meat. I've got no complaints though. If I had money, I'm not sure what to spend it on.
More coin, more problems. Mainly the problem of unlimited happiness.
I'm not sure I agree. The snowshots and blackbriars have enough gold to fill the ratways, but they don't seem all that happy about it. Sometimes I'm glad I don't work under Volwolf. I don't make as much as Atfield or Leonara, but I can make my own hours and work at my own pace.
You are build off your room and board?
No, but I don't mind. Helga's bunkhouse isn't too expensive, the beds are cozy enough, and Niluva is easy on the eyes. I know Southern thinks all of Mundus revolves around Helga, and Svanna has her share of suitors, but I don't know. Neither of them strike my fancy. At least, not the way Niluva does. To be honest, I love everything about the bunkhouse, except maybe Valander.
I get to meet this Sadrin.
Well, I hope you like talking about Helga, because that's pretty much all he cares about.
Yeah, got something to talk to him about anyway. That's who it is. Not about Valander, why don't you like him?
Now, he's not a bad person or anything. It's just the way he's always going on about Valenwood. It makes me feel like such an outsider. I may be Bosmer by blood, but I was born and raised here, and someday I'll die here too. I shouldn't have to be ashamed of that.
How does he make you feel ashamed?
I've told Valander many times that I've never been outside of Skyrim, but he'll still ask me what my favorite memories of our homeland are. Whenever I mention how beautiful the Fall Forest is, he'll tell me how the leaves on Sylvanar turn with twice the color. Or he and Ungrian will share stories about the way the cities rumble under your feet, or how a crop of new aromas bloom with each spring. And none of it means anything to me. When I sit at that table, I can't help but feel excluded, as if I have to apologize for who I am.
Seriously, feel like me kill a guy, problem solved.
It must be awfully convenient to go through life just murdering the people you don't like.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful to have met Valander. Even the folks you don't get along with can teach you valuable things about yourself.
Okay, fine, anything you want to ask me?
Sure. For starters, what's your favorite thing to eat in Skyrim?
Raw meats, fruit and vegetables, whatever I can scrape together.
I imagine that's what you have to eat, but it can't be your favorite thing to eat, can it? If so, you're missing out. Then again, who am I to tell you that? I've lived my whole life by taking pride in the simple things. And my idea of a fancy meal is a rabbit haunch with a side of freshly cut cabbage.
Is that all?
No, I got more. I think. Okay, how about this? What do you think is the most fearsome beast in Skyrim?
Spiders, all the answers are invalid.
I'm inclined to agree. It's the hairs more than anything. If spiders shaved, I don't think people would hate them as much.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I guess I can't even ask interesting questions.
You ever consider working for the snowshots?
Of course. Merryfair Farm can't afford to hire another hand, while the snowshots have enough to pay a dozen farmers and a score of guards. Only the snowshots only hire other Nords. True sons of Skyrim, basically. Maybe things might be different under Asgeir, but I don't have my fingers crossed. He's pretty much a mirror of his father. They'd never hire me, even though I'm pretty sure they need me.
A lot of contract farmers like yourself?
A lot of travelers come by and help out, but ever since Hagravi left about 5 years ago, there hasn't been another steady farmhand since. Volwolf will never admit it though. I've always said when they bury him, they're going to need 3 coffins. One for him, one for his bride, and one for that cauldron he calls a belly.
You ever thought of visiting Valander?
I have. For a long time, that was all I thought about. And it wasn't just to shut Valander up. I really wanted to know about my heritage, my home. So every day, I'd skip a meal or pick a few more potatoes, and eventually saved enough to make the trip. I had everything packed. All that was left was to say goodbye. I thanked Advil and Leonara for having me, and all my friends at the bunkhouse. On my way to Solitude, I made a stop in Morthal. That's where I met this tavern maid.
So what about her made you change your mind?
She was the perfect embodiment of a Nord woman. Tall, pretty, and fair of skin. Only there was something strange about the way she spoke. She called skeevers cave rats, Fulmer goblins, and constantly complained about the cold. I was more of a Nord than she was. And that's when I realized I didn't need to travel halfway across Tamriel to find my home. I was already here. Until next time.
Did you see the fires from Golden Glow Estate? I was afraid the whole place was going to burn to the ground.
Yeah, what about that, eh? I've a lease to sell.
Honest pay for honest work. All right then.
My husband and I were just recently married.
Oh, good for you.
All right then.
Okay. Beautiful day dawns, I see. Okay, you two go and relax. I've got some business to take care of.
Oh, come to gloat, have we? To poke fun at the Jarl's youngest son?
Out of my way. The son of the Jarl has no time for idle conversation with travelers.
Begging your pardon, my lady, but I strongly
Welcome
recommend
to
against...
Mistvale Keep. I'm Jarl Layla's steward, Anuriel.
The dragon that lost tongue overlooking there. I'm here for the minute.
Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here's your reward.
To have you killed. Are you willing to take that risk?
No. You're welcome in
Of course,
Riften.
you're right.
As long as you
I'll stay
continue
here
to
for
obey
now.
our laws.
Right, okay.
If this isn't about official city business, you're wasting my time.
I can feel you laughing behind my back.
I don't really care. Quentyl hates those two. Talking down to her like that. I can smith up these dragon equipment. And skills from Lydia.
What do you need, my Thane?
Backpack. Right. One there. Couple of them.
All right then.
Have you prepared the stables like I suggested, Sean?
Yes, Lady Mio. If Riften gets attacked, we'll retreat inside the city gates and bar the door just like you said.
Good. You could be our first line of defense since you live outside the city walls, so we're depending on you.
Yeah, well, I think we'll hear and see a big dragon before it actually attacks.
Yes.
Excuse me, Ballyman.
Come to see Ballyman perform miracles with steel, eh?
Not really, I just want to use your workbench. Excuse me. Yes, I can. Good. Right. Let's get the old smithing gear on then.
Mule, I'm glad I found you.
What is it, Trifa? What's the matter?
It's Bercy. He's getting so angry about the corruption in Riften, he said he's gonna walk right up to Maven and give her a piece of his mind.
If I see him, I'll make sure he doesn't do anything brash. Don't worry.
Right.
What brings you to Ballamon today? Repair? Purchase?
What do you need?
See if this guy is in the bunkhouse. Possibly not. Time's it, right.
Helga, how many times do I have to tell you not to wake me? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. Still, it's a little rude to rustle someone out of bed for no reason.
What's the big deal? Just go back to bed.
It's not that simple. Sure, I can go back to sleep, but it won't be the same. When I sleep, I dream. Really vivid dreams. And when you interrupt them, I can never get them back.
Are you actually from Riften?
I'm from Markarth, actually. Had to move out here after I got into a little argument with Cosimo. He thinks I stole something from his museum. I asked him if he had proof, and he said mercenaries don't require any. So, here I am.
Did you have trouble sleeping?
Oh, God. I can't imagine anything worse than that. Although I do have trouble staying asleep, as you have so aptly demonstrated. It's not just random travelers, though. It's the arguments downstairs, the snoring upstairs, and whatever's going on in Helga's room.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yes, I imagine it gets quite noisy in this place.
You get what you pay for, I suppose. Although I guess they have the same troubles with Volwolf at the Barb, from what I hear. I might just need to get out of Riften and go to a place like Iverstead. It'll be harder on my coin purse, but I think I can make things work. Being awake is so dull.
I'm not talking about these dreams of yours.
Sure, I'm up now, so I might as well.
What sort of dreams do you have?
Well, the other day I dreamt I was the Dragonborn, and the day before that I dreamt I was a dragon. It's kind of hard to take real life seriously anymore. All I think about is going back to bed.
Dreams can tell you about yourself. You obviously let in for power.
Maybe, but I don't always dream I'm powerful. Sometimes I dream I'm a housecarl or the Jarl's steward. I guess you could say I don't know what I want, but I prefer to look at my dreams as something to enjoy, not anything deeper.
So when did these sessions start?
As long as I can remember. At first, I didn't really take them too seriously. I worked a lot of long hours, so I was always worried about waking up. And now that I barely work, I sleep more, and more importantly, I have time to think about what I experienced.
As you know what you're dreaming, can you control them?
Most of the time, I have no idea, which is good. I'd imagine it'd be harder to enjoy my dreams if I knew they weren't real. Funny you should ask, though. There was one time I had the same dream twice, and sure enough, the illusion was broken.
Back to me all the questions.
Alright. Alright then.
There's anybody here, so you know, quite last about town where Sadrin is, and he's actually hanging with the Temple of Mara, so.
Blessings of Mara upon you. May you return to her benevolence in safety.
Jade, I was wondering if you could perhaps answer a question for me. A purely intellectual one, of course.
Oh boy, here we go again.
I was wondering if you knew the creator of the sculpture of Mara, and whether there was a mortal inspiration for its contour.
Yes, Sadrin, we all know you're here to ogle the statue. Now either make a donation or get out.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Why won't Helga acknowledge me?
You're a friend of Helga's?
I'm not a friend, I'm a suitor. If only I could convince her to see me as such.
I think you'll have to get in line, I think, in somewhere in Blackmarsh.
And follow a bunch of Argonians? Talk about your sloppy seconds. No offense.
That's not funny.
Oh, rats, you're gonna beat me up now, aren't you? Well, I'll have you know I am well trained in the art of curling up in a ball and weeping softly.
If you're not, I have no desire to kill you. I might love off a hand, though.
I hope not. I've grown quite attached to it. We're practically inseparable.
Who are you anyway? What do you do here?
That's an odd and brusque way to address a stranger now, isn't it?
What's everyone else?
That, I believe, I will never understand the etiquette here. Everything is about saving time and how short life is. No one ever stops to sit down and read a good book. Or a bad book, for that matter. The divines know there are plenty of those. What about you? Do you enjoy the art of reading?
I like to read the fear in a man's eyes as I bludgeon him.
Ah, then we have much in common. Me being the person who's usually bludgeoned. Not much else, though.
What do you ultimately want with Helga, romance or marriage?
Marry Helga? Now there's a frightening thought. Oh no, I assure you my intentions are entirely puerile. I want to bed her. I want to dip my face in her ample bosom and make crude animal noises. I want to taste her apple pie, eat her sweet roll, and now I'm hungry.
Really, I just lost my appetite.
Did I mention her bosom was ample? It seemed like an important detail.
So what makes you think bathing Helga will be that easy?
It's well known that Helga is what ruffians call a very loose woman. Man, mer, dwarven centurion, they say she takes all who are willing. Somehow, I managed to be excluded from this special fraternity.
Have you tried other women? What of the Temple of Bella?
Don't remind me of that place. I saved up all my gold, traveled to the opposite end of Skyrim, and what did they tell me? The sisters are communing with the Bella and can't be disturbed. I've never heard a worse excuse in all my years. Oh no, I'm not going through that again. Helga is right here, and by all accounts not a picky woman.
Let's ask you some books.
Oh? Books are my favorite subject. Well, other than, you know.
Stalking, from what I understand.
Is that what I'm doing? Well, it does sound rather malevolent when you put it that way.
Did you receive a gift of books from a friend recently?
Why, yes. 3 of them, in fact. I'm not entirely sure why or even who sent them. But perhaps it was someone who knew of my fondness for literature.
How much do you want for them?
Nothing. They didn't cost me anything to read them, so why should it cost you? Hopefully they'll help you fill up some of those empty hours.
So what can you tell me about the person who sent you these books?
Not much. I received them from a courier not too long ago with specific instructions to hold on to said books until the owner retrieved them. But he said if he didn't show up within a week, I was free to do with them as I pleased. The whole thing was rather bizarre, but these days, what isn't?
Okay.
Safe travels.
What is she doing?
Make it quick. All praise be to Mara. Death to those who turn away from her embrace.
Death sounds like a harsh punishment for avoiding religion.
Perhaps, but such is the way.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were an assassin.
Possibly. Not every whisper comes from the Brotherhood's lips. Not all the Void's children prayed to Sithis. Do you seek my services? First, one must speak a name.
Elenthal. The name I speak is Elenthal.
Interesting. And what is her crime?
Well, I haven't thought about that far, to be honest.
A poor decision. You must think ahead, or be left behind.
So what sort of crimes justify a kill?
I have a code, like most. Many whisper the name of an abusive spouse, or a cheating one. They come to the temple and seek my ear. They pray to Mara, but they speak to me.
Are you paid for these services?
Perhaps. But the temple cannot function without donations. Nor can I.
So why did you do this? What made you into an assassin?
Maybe I enjoy it. Duty and love are at times one and the same.
So where do you hail?
Here. The orphanage in Riften. Although, rarely do I ever get a chance to come home.
So what are you doing here?
I have come to pray and ask for forgiveness. I have killed in Mara's name, slain those who have broken the sacred vow. If I have erred in doing so, I ask Mara for her mercy.
So would you lend your service to Mara in another capacity?
I'll consider it. But if it's passing out Dinya's letters, then rest assured, I already do.
A ghost wants to reply someone with vendetta. I want you to help me kill him.
One must speak a name, and then a crime. But that's not what you want, is it? This kill is your own. Interesting. What is it you would ask of me?
I'll use your blessing, nothing more.
Understood. Mara, protect us both.
Blessings of Mara upon you.
Well, there's 2 of them done then. Okay. Onward we go. Just the man I want to see, is that him? I found the books where there was a problem. Saturn was given 3 books.
What? 3? Damn. And of course they're all different. Maybe you can help. This is a puzzle, you see. And there's a way to narrow things down.
Perhaps you should explain from the beginning what exactly is in these books.
Alright, I'll tell you. It goes back to my bandit days. The chief did this kidnapping job a few years back. When it came time for the ransom, the noble told him about this safe, with enough gems and gold to fill a mammoth. Problem is, the guy didn't know the combination. He had it hidden away in this cipher, and the key was in these books he passed on to some friends. The chief thought it was a trick. Figured if he just kept torturing him, he'd get the combination. Of course, I knew better. I promised the noble I'd kill the chief if he gave me their names.
Oh, right, okay.
But the poor sod was too far gone to tell me much of anything.
So the books are the key. The Annies is one, but which of Sergeants is the other?
Not only that, but which order to use them. The cipher isn't clear on that. It just says Book 1 and Book 2. But the chief left a clue. What do you make of this phrase? The clue is in the second book.
I think the word clue had a different meaning.
For all we know, it could be someone's name. Damn, 3 books. I'm a bloody bandit. How in oblivion am I supposed to figure it out? I almost feel like it'd be better to cut my losses now and sell you the cipher. At least then there'd still be a chance the treasure gets salvaged.
How much would you sell the cipher for?
Well, I don't know. How does 5,000 gold sound? The contents in that safe have to be at least 20 times that amount. But enter the wrong combination and you get nothing. For me, the odds just aren't worth it.
Okay, I'll buy that cipher.
Then we have a deal. Here you go. If you truly crack the code, then it should have everything you need to open that safe.
Right.
I could have left it behind. I could have put it back where it came from.
Interesting puzzle for Quentyl. It's not worked out what the code is yet, but take a given bit of time.
I could have left it behind. I could have put it back where it came from. Yes? It's yours now. I won't take it back. I won't. It is done. I won't go back to Avanchonfell. I won't. Please help me. I'm going to lose my job at the Riften Fishery.
Might lose your job?
My job at the Riften Fishery is in danger. The owner, Bolly, said that if I show up for work in this condition one more time, then I'm out. I don't mean to do this to myself, but I can't help it. I tried some skooma a year ago, and ever since then, I can't stop. If you could give me a healing potion, I could cleanse this poison from my body and get back to my life.
Sure, here you are.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Here, take this. It's all I can offer you for what you've given me.
You're worth a bit, I suppose.
Well met. I don't think they're hiring anyone at the moment, so if you're looking for work, you're out of luck. I'd better get going.
Yeah, it's alright, don't worry about it.
Trees. They're beautiful here. Reminds me of autumn at home. The fall forest makes me miss my childhood. Playing among the towering trees in Valenwood and living with my brethren. Seeing the sorry state of this city almost makes me regret my decision to leave my home when my apprenticeship completed. I was fortunate enough to be guided by one of Sylvanar's master armorers until he passed. On his deathbed, my master urged me to take over his business, but I decided against it. I chose to wander Tamriel instead. Until next time.
Yeah, well, whatever. things to do. Things to do: 1. Repair holes in nets. Sending to marker too expensive. Look for local solution, Banda perhaps. 2. Repair wood damage to fish pens. No skill required for this, decent Vegeta take care of it. 3. Adjust fishing charts for Lake Hunrich. Need to keep the ship clear of the Golden Glow estate. They took pot shots out of our ship last time, so they moved within the stone's throw of the location, so no idea why that guy got answered. We'll tell everyone to stop staying search for damn money. That bully's office, eh?